Hey guys, it's Austin Doctor, and welcome back to another video. This is obviously bye, summer, hello, fall, and I don't know what I'm going to put at the end of it, so yeah. So basically, we're going to talk about summer, the whole anime scene. It was okay. I'm going to say I really did like winter and spring. This summer had very few good ones. There was a couple ones that were disappointing, like the Master of Ragnarok and Angels of Death for me. But overall, they're pretty good. But let me give you four of my favorite ones for this summer. These aren't in order, obviously, but How Not to Summon a Demon Lord is one of my favorites, along with Grand Blue. I love Grand Blue. If you haven't watched it, I highly advise to watch it. You Know the Hot Springs, I love it. It's a really good harem anime, one of an original style of harems, and Cells at Work. I know some people are like, it's really good. I see where they're coming from, but I enjoy it for a different reason. It kind of teaches you about stuff, and I've learned this stuff already, but I enjoy it. I don't think it needs to be the hottest thing. I don't think it's the best anime, but it's an enjoyable anime nonetheless, and I really love it. And I'm going to be honest, these are the animes I'm going to miss a lot. And I'm going to really miss You Know the Hot Springs. I really hope How Not to Summon a Demon Lord and You Know the Hot Springs gets another season, because they are really good. Even though people like to hate on, ecchi and harem animes, these are pretty good. And especially that How Not to Summon a Demon Lord and You Know the Hot Springs actually have a lot more material that we went, it's a big difference. I mean, I think they're about 4 to 5 light novels. I know that number's probably not correct. Someone's going to correct me, but for How Not to Summon a Demon Lord and You Know the Hot Springs, I'm not going to even bother. They're just so far ahead, and it's an amazing manga series. I really recommend, after finishing these shows, pick up the manga for How Not to Summon a Demon Lord and You Know the Hot Springs. But I love Grand Blue. It made me laugh. It was the comedy anime that made me laugh, that wasn't too focused on fan service, even though it does have a good amount of fan service. But I just love the facial reactions too. And where did you see this, Austin Walder's Amazon video? And of course, you can go on Kiss Anime if you want to, but it was such a good anime that it had enough in it. And it's just, poor main character, I keep forgetting his name, but just it wonderful job and beautiful animation. And not going to some disappointing ones. Island was so disappointed with the story. It had so much potential, but it shot itself in the foot like Darling Franks. And I really loved the animation, but it's sad it's wasted on such a horrible story at the end. And I know people are like, oh, it was good. I mean, if you think it's good, you have pretty low standards. I'm being real. And going to the Master Ragnarok, I'm getting tired of Another World animes being too serious because they're boring. I'm gonna be honest. And going to Overlord, don't ever ask me to cover another season of Overlord. I really can't stand watching it sometimes because there's those filler episodes, and yes, it's enjoyable, but it's just, I wish they would do better by it, because it's a good series, just there's potential that is wasted. And yes, you can follow the light novel as closely as possible, but when the light novel isn't that interesting, change it up. I'm being honest. Don't go to Tokyo Ghoul extreme, please, for the love of God, don't. But it's just, I felt it was a waste with a lot of scenes in the beginning. And I do enjoy the Carne Village kind of thing. That was enjoyable. I will say this is better than season 2, but my favorite season is still season 1, and it's just, I don't know, I expected a little more out of Overlord, but it wasn't bad. So that's why I didn't put it in my disappointed or my favorite animes. It was just okay. It was fun. It was enjoyable, but just those couple episodes that were really boring to set up. And I know people are like, oh, if you don't like setup episodes, don't watch Overlord. Well, believe it or not, there's something that Overlord copies, Log Horizon, and it still doesn't do a good job of it. And I wish it would get better. And I'm pretty sure it's going to get better. I know people always tell me it's going to get better with it, but, sorry for offending some of you guys. I know some people really like to ride the Overlord train too deep, even though it's the underchild of No Game No Life at Madhouse. But anyways, let's get on to the fall subject. Now let's get the director staff to kind of switch the scene. for you guys. Pretty nice, isn't it? Made it myself. But yeah, this is going to be the new like standard background that I'm going to do stuff with. And when I have backgrounds, I usually have to record and talk over it. It's fun, and sometimes you mess up because, you know, my character sometimes likes to move by itself, and yeah, it gets fun. But back to the fall anime. Now, I'm going to show you the couple animes, and I'm going to talk about one that I'm going to do a first reaction for. I'll be covering Conception, and it's going to be an iffy one, but it's still going to be on Crunchyroll, so I'll enjoy it. Then, of course, you know, Senran Kagura. I love Senran Kagura, if you don't know. And, of course, Sword Art Online, I asked you guys, and you guys, majority of you wanted it, so I'm like, okay, I'll cover it. And Goblin Slayer. I'm going to do a first impression on it for the simple fact, and I know this is going to piss a lot of people off, but if you're a manga reader, you should know where I'm going with this. And I'm never a person that goes for censorship. I believe everyone should be able to express themselves and stuff, but Goblin Slayer should not have half the stuff it has in that manga. I want the brutal stuff, the brutal killing, I guess, in the like action, but I know it's going to be an action-filled thing, but I really hope they stay away from those scenes. You know which scenes I'm talking about, and I don't want to mention it because it's going to get my video blacklisted if I say that word, but you know exactly what I'm talking about, some of you, and I don't think it has a place in the anime, and I really hope they don't allow that to be broadcast on television, especially, I don't know the rules in Japan, but that's far-reaching. That's like something you'd go on the good old HH online to look up, and I don't know, really do not want to see that stuff because it is very realistic and uncomfortable, and I get that's what they're going for, but you don't gotta go do that. And the author that writes this stuff, I'm very surprised he isn't put in prison or something, because that kind of mind should not be allowed to go around. All kidding aside, it was a okay manga. I love the action. I really love the Goblin Slayer, and I just really hope they don't. I know this is a weird thing to say, the fan servicey route, because it's going to involve a lot of uncomfortable scenes. And when I do my first impression on it, I'm probably either going to decide there if I'm going to keep watching it, but I'm not going to be covering Goblin Slayer. Just know that already, because it just I reading the manga, it's very uncomfortable. Really, really uncomfortable. And those scenes have really off-putting things, and it kind of throws the story off in my eyes. But hey, people enjoy it, and those people should be put in prison or locked up. I'm being honest. Do not promote that kind of stuff. That is messed up. But going to, you know, Conception, I'm probably going to enjoy that. I definitely cannot wait for Senran Kagura, and it's good to see some of the characters from the video game show up, even though they were there first. But another one, of course, is Sword Art Online, and I know I'm probably going to get attacked for saying this because I did it on Twitter, and these, no offense to the fans, some of you guys really jumped to attack, even though I'm like all for it. I'm very happy the director from the second season isn't directing this, because I know people will argue with me, but the Mother Rosario kind of arc was very forced and rushed, even though it really shouldn't have been, and it kind of off-put a lot of the season. It kind of ruined it, and I love the GGO arc, but I think Yuki got cheated in that entire arc, because there was more time. There was more time, and it's just sad that they rushed it, and I really hope this director is doing it. He is doing it smartly, because it is one of the biggest arcs, and it's going to be around 50 episodes, and thank you guys for that one, but I hope this third season is going to be great. And playing like the video games and reading a little ahead, I love Alice and Yu-Gi-Oh! And I know people are like, oh, she's a copy of Saber. I wouldn't say that. She really reminds me of Internet from High School DxD, but that's just my input. But Yu-Gi-Oh! I'm going to tell you already, you're going to like Yu-Gi-Oh! But don't get too close to him, to say the least. But I'm very happy it's getting another season to redeem itself. I believe all anime should be able to redeem themselves as long as they switch the director. I'm talking to you, Darling the Franks, but honestly, I'm hyped for it. I know a lot of people are like, oh, it's SAO, it's a horrible anime. I agree with you to a point. The first season was okay. It wasn't bad. The second season, the beginning was really great, and just that the ending just off-put everything. It's just, I hope it's going to be better. I have hope, though. I really do, since they actually took the precaution of getting another director, and it's going to be amazing. I think that arc is one of my favorites, but who knows? They could mess it up. They couldn't. What's your opinion on the third season of Sword Art Online? I know some of you probably don't like it. Some people do, and some people are asking, why are we getting another season? Trust me, I don't even understand why we get other seasons of certain animes. Don't deserve another one. Citrus, My Girlfriend's a Gal. I don't understand how those are getting other seasons, but you know, there's nothing like No Game No Life that's not getting a second season anytime soon. No, that's not happening, even though it's a really good anime. But enough of that little rambling on. Tell me what your thoughts are on, Sword Art Online Season 3, and what animes do you plan on watching during this fall season? I'm very curious, and what were your favorites from summer? What were your favorite animes? Let me face it to that. But anyways, guys, this is Austin the Doctor signing out. Hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you until the next time. Peace.